Hey guys, happy 2020. I can't believe this is the first video of the year. I'm so excited, and today we are celebrating by filming the Tati Beauty Eyeshadow Palette full face makeup tutorial. Let's get started. First things first, yes, I'm wearing a shirt. So I like to hydrate the skin. I like to use this Pixi Beauty Rose Oil facial oil, and I like to put this on first, so while I'm doing my eye makeup it just kind of penetrates and seeps into my skin, leaving it nice and soft. So while that's kind of doing its magic, I like to go right in with my eyeshadow primer, and this one is from Nars, and it's the Smudgeproof one. I oddly have like really oily eyelids, and this is the only thing that actually keeps my like oils in control. Like I have dry skin but my eyelids are oily, which is really weird. But anyways, after you prime, we're busting out the Tati Beauty eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to go in with that one right there, that color, which is a really pale, like nudie pink eyeshadow. And I'm just going to place that on my brow bone, and this is going to give my brow bone a little bit of a lift. So next I'm going to go in with the transition shade, which is that brown, and I'm just going to lightly place that into my crease and using windshield wiper as well as circular motions. And as you guys can see where my hand is placed, it's towards the very end of the brush, which means I'm applying really light pressure. If my hand is closer to the bristles, that means I will have much more like a heavier hand, which is something I do not want, especially for the transition shade. So I'm just lightly building this color up into my crease and outer corner. Alright, so after we have the transition shade down, I'm going to go in with the dark chocolatey brown eyeshadow, and this time I'm grabbing a much more stiffer, defined, like concentrated blending brush, and I'm closing my eye, and I'm taking this eyeshadow along the upper lash line and smudging it and making it really soft. I'm just building this color up and then slightly just winging it out towards the ends. And then I'm going to go in with an angled brush and going in with that black in the palette. I'm going to take that along the upper lash line, and then I'm also going to be winging it out as well. You guys don't have to worry about it being so perfect right now just because we're not using actual eyeliner. So if you make a little mistake, it is so much easier to clean up eyeshadow because it's obviously not gonna like stain your eyes or anything like that. So I'm just lightly winging it out, and if you guys feel like the wing is too thick or it's uneven, you guys can just grab a little Q-tip and fix it up or use a little bit of concealer. So what I'm doing right now, I just winged out my eyeliner, and then I'm going back in with a brown and that same blending brush and just smudging it out and making it really soft. It's okay if it gets a little messy because we're just gonna go in with a little bit of makeup remover wipes and clean it right up, and it's gonna literally look perfect. So just be really patient with this step. A little tip that I have for you guys to achieve like perfect winged liner is start off with the lower lash line and have the end of your brow be like a guide. So you're kind of reaching towards the end of your brow here. So just do little small brush strokes and just lightly work and just slightly build it up. But also you guys want to do a really light hand too, just so towards the end you just have a really nice like flick. So you really want to apply little pressure. And then I am just blending out the eyeshadows, and then as you guys can see, I'm using a little bit of makeup wipes, folding the pad in half and then really sharpening out my liner. And as you guys can see, it just cleaned up all the excess eyeshadow that I had. So next I'm going in with this really pretty warm tone like eyeshadow, and it has really little like flecks of sparkle in it. It's so pretty. So I'm just using my finger to apply that all over my lid. And I just wanted to test out how these eyeshadows perform. And you guys, these eyeshadows are so buttery soft and pigmented. Like I use my finger to apply and they're so soft to the touch. It's insane. Now I'm going to go in with that. It's like a really pretty taupey like brown eyeshadow, and I'm going to take that along the outer corners of my eyes and just kind of like blending it into like the smoky liner. And it's okay if it's not perfect because I'm going to grab that brush we used earlier and I'm just going to further blend everything out. Alright, now I'm just doing any minor fixings, touching up, like adding a little bit more shadows, doing a little bit more blending, and then I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and a little flat shader brush, and I'm going to clean up the inner part of my lid. I'm not concealing like or cutting the crease. I'm not concealing a lot of the lid because I still want some of the shadow that we put on earlier to still peek through. But if that eyeshadow we put on earlier is covered up a little bit, like it's literally like no big deal, it's fine, just because at the like the final look you guys will just see how the lid, there's a really nice gradient effect and you guys will kind of get a glimpse of all the shadows we worked with, and it's like really pretty. So I'm gonna go in with this gold, and oh my goodness you guys, this gold is so pretty. I literally can't even, like, I'm actually like, I love this gold so much. It is so pigmented and it just looks so like rich. Like, I don't know how to describe it to you, but I'm using my finger to get the best, to get the most out of my eyeshadow, and I feel like that's like when it like looks the best. And then I'm gonna play with the glitters, and I'm gonna use that one right there. So all I'm doing is just 2 swipes, and that's it. I didn't add any glitter glue, no primer, none of that. I literally just used the glitter eyeshadow, and I am just pressing that onto my lid, and oh my goodness you guys, I just can't, like, these eyeshadows are insane. They're so pretty. So I'm just not adding any more product. What I just showed you guys is how much product I use, so I'm just using that was enough for both of my eyes, and I'm just lightly pressing it on. I'm obsessed. I'm just obsessed. So here I am just touching up the smoky liner, just because some of that eyeshadow we used earlier covered it up, and I'm just like reshaping and redefining and just touching up anything that I may have blended out too much. At this point, I'm just using excess eyeshadow, so this step isn't necessary, but I'm going to grab that eyeshadow and apply that to the brow bone for added shimmer. It's really pretty. It reminds me like of a really pretty, like it would be pretty for like a really, like, how many times can I say pretty? Bridal look. I think it would look very nice. Next I'm going in with this Nars eyeliner, and this one is in black. I think it's just their black one, and I'm gonna tightline and my upper and lower lash line just to get it out of the way. I feel like this step is always like one of those like, I get lazy with my waterline, so I'm just getting it out of the way now. And then I'm gonna add my mascara, and this is optional, but you guys can add fake lashes. So the lashes that I'm going to be using are the Covergirl, no, not Covergirl, Colourpop. I always get the two mixed up. Colourpop eyelashes in Baddie, and these are faux mink lashes, and that is the finished eye look. So let's move on to face. I'm not using a primer just because I already applied that oil beforehand, so my skin is nice and hydrated. And then I'm gonna grab this Huda Beauty duo-sided contour brush, I believe, and I'm just gonna use that to blend out my foundation. And it may look like I applied a lot of foundation, but I didn't really. As you guys can see, you guys can still see my skin is peeking through, so I just applied a light layer all over just to even out my skin tone, and we're just blending it and working that into my skin. I really love mixing oils with cream foundations. I feel like it just looks so good together. It looks the most natural, and the oil just makes your skin look dewy. So I'm going to go in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in medium and apply that any areas where I feel like I need more coverage. And I don't know why this part is so satisfying to me, just because I see my skin, like, it's just like the concealer is like melting into the skin and it just looks so satisfying to me. So I'm just going to apply that to the areas where I feel like I need more coverage. And instead of like adding more foundation, I just like spot concealed. So now I'm going to go in with the same concealers. I'm just mixing 2 shades and applying that underneath my eyes and the center of my face, just to add a little bit of brightness and dimension. So I like to apply the concealer right underneath my eyes and the center of like my forehead and the bridge of my nose. You guys don't need to overdo it with concealer. I feel like concealer is something that is really overdone sometimes when like you really don't need all that excess like makeup. So I just applied it to the areas where you feel like you need it. So yeah, I'm just pressing that underneath my eyes, and as you guys can see, it already did the job. My dark circles are erased and my under eyes are brightened. And I like to take my concealer a little bit more up towards my temple area just to give me like that facelift like illusion. And then I'm going in with the Covergirl Under Eye Translucent Loose Setting Powder. It's actually not an under eye powder, but I like to use it for the under eyes, and I'm just pressing that in. And while the powder is sitting there, I'm just gonna work on my lower lash line and blend a few brown eyeshadows there just to smudge it out. And then I dust away any excess powder, and that is it. I'm grabbing that very first eyeshadow used for the brow bone into my inner corner just to brighten it up a bit. And then I'm also adding lower lash mascara to finish off the eye look. Alright, so up next we're going to do our brows, and I recently discovered the Brow Styler by Benefit and I really love it so much. Like, it's so nice. So I'm just going to lightly fill in my eyebrows, giving them some shape and filling in any sparse areas. And then of course I'm going to be setting them with the Benefit Ready Set Brow Gel or the 24-hour brow gel. They're both the same. I just get the names mixed up. So brows are pretty much done, and then now I am just going to be bronzing up the skin with the Benefit Hoola Bronzer in Caramel or Caramel. How do you guys say it? I say caramel. I don't know. I'm used to saying caramel, but I feel like it might be caramel. Anyways, bronzing up the skin. I have a little bit of a tan going on, so caramel is like my favorite bronzer at the moment. It's like the perfect tone for my skin tone. And then I'm going to add a little bit of blush. I like to go for like a peachy blush when I have a little bit of a tan because I feel like it really complements my skin tone. And I'm just applying that to the apples of my cheeks and then blending it a little bit backwards. I'm sorry if I seem out of it, you guys. I'm like actually like in the middle of like a cold. I got sick after my New Year's trip, so I'm like trying to get this video edited. But yeah, so don't mind me. This Colourpop Mega Highlighter just reminds me of the Marc Jacobs one, and I am like obsessed with it. Like, it's so pretty. So I applied actually to the collarbones and my cheekbones and just use it as a highlight. I don't think this is gonna work for somebody with like pale, like light skin tones. So definitely if you're more to like medium tan or medium deep, I feel like this will look much better on you. And then I'm going to use a little bit of setting spray, use your little bougie fan brush, and then moving on to the lips. Of course, I am overlining, and I'm using the Dose of Colors Dime Lip Liner. I love this lip liner so much. So I'm just going to overline only my Cupid's bow, but then follow my natural lip line on the sides, and same with my bottom lip as well. Then I'm going to go in with this Nars lipstick. It's the nude one. I don't know the name of it, but I'll have it in the description below. But it has like a really pretty like glossy finish, and I'm obsessed with it. Like, look, this is the first time using it in the video, and I'm just obsessed. And this is the finished look, guys. Hope you guys love it. Alright, you guys, but that is the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this makeup tutorial and found it inspiring. I hope you guys also learned something cool from today's video. If you guys did like it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out, as well as leave a comment down below letting me know that you guys did like this video. Also, do you guys like this setup? Let me know. I don't know. I'm just playing around with my setup right now, and your guys' feedback really means a lot to me. So, Happy New Year. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye. Mwah.